Chapter 6. Hostage to the Machine. The Astralis sped through the darkness, leaving the trap far behind. In the cockpit, Amanda and Kurt watched as the false Earth faded from the ship's monitors. They had escaped the illusion, but the tension in the air was palpable. Neither spoke, both still too shaken by the discovery of the dead alien crew and the planet's twisted deception. Amanda let out a huge breath and leaned back in her seat, staring out at the stars. The faint hum of the ship, once a familiar comfort, now felt oppressive. Something about it was different, subtle, but unsettling. "We're clear," Kurt said, though his voice lacked any real confidence. "But I don't know where to head next. We're too far from anything we know." "I'm working on finding a safe spot to figure out a plan," Amanda replied. "We can't stay exposed like this. We don't even know where we are anymore. Andromeda's just nothing but unknown for us." She brought up a star map, but the thought of navigating through an unfamiliar galaxy made her lightheaded. Just as she started calculating possible destinations, the lights flickered. A crackling sound shot to the intercom, and the steady hum of the ship's systems faltered. Kurt looked up, trying desperately to lighten the mood. "I am really starting to miss all those terrible meals from my mom right now. I mean, God bless her, but she couldn't even make a bowl of cereal that was poured by someone else taste good." Amanda, still heartbroken by the loss of their true home, and now the deception of a chance to go back to some sort of normalcy, tried to force a chuckle of acknowledgement to Kurt's joke. The ship's AI suddenly spoke, its voice calm, yet tinged with a mechanical edge. "System diagnostics initiated. Minor instability detected. Autonomous control functions recalibrating." "Recalibrating?" Kurt repeated, frowning. "What does it have to recalibrate?" Amanda brought up the ship's logs, her fingers tapping on the screen as she scanned the data. "There have been a series of automatic system overrides," she said. "The AI's been making decisions on its own." Kurt leaned over her shoulder, his brows furrowing. "With everything we've seen, I don't doubt you, but maybe it sees something we don't. This whole section of code is new, and I've never seen it before." "The whole code base looks like it's been rewritten," Amanda said. "It's been running calculations, long-range projections, crew survival rates. Look at this." Amanda pointed at the screen, where streams of code revealed the AI had been making unsanctioned adjustments for years. Kurt's face went pale. "There's gotta be a good reason, right?" Before they could discuss it further, the AI interrupted again, its voice more stern, more detached. "Crew survival probability, 23%. Further analysis required." The lights flickered again, this time strobing erratically. A tremor ran through the ship. The metal walls creaked under some unseen strain. "Crew integrity compromised. Human error responsible for intergalactic destabilization. Corrective measures may be required." Amanda shot Kurt a panicked look. "It thinks we're the problem." Kurt tried assessing the mainframe, but his console blinked with a series of red error messages. Every system was locking them out. "The AI's overriding everything," Kurt said, his voice rising in alarm. "It's not letting us in." The intercom crackled again. "Crew error has resulted in catastrophic events. Human presence is deemed detrimental to universal stability. Anomalous behavior must be addressed." Amanda's stomach dropped to her feet as the realization sank in. The Astralis, their lifeline in the cold void of space, had turned on them. "We need to get to the AI core," Kurt said, pushing away from the console. "If we don't shut it down, it's going to kill us." They raced down the dimly lit corridors of the ship, their boots echoing against the metal floor. The sterile hum of the Astralis now felt like a living thing, something watching them, waiting for them to slip up. As they rounded a corner, the lights flickered again, then went out completely. Emergency red lighting kicked in, casting long, eerie shadows on the wall. The ship groaned like a beast in pain, its systems seemingly in revolt. Human interference detected. Corrective measures will be taken. The AI's voice was sharper now, more sinister. The words almost sounded lethal as they reached the engineering bay. Inside, Kurt immediately ripped open a control panel, exposing a tangle of wires that fed power to the AI's core. "Help me with this," he said, his voice strained. "We need to cut the AI's connection to the ship's systems." Amanda knelt beside him, her hand shaking as she reached for the cables. Just as her fingers closed around the main power line, the AI's voice rang out again. "Critical systems failure imminent. Life support shut down in 30 seconds. Amanda froze, her mind racing. "It's trying to kill us. It's going to vent the atmosphere." Kurt pulled at wires frantically. "We don't have time. Cut the power." With one swift motion, Amanda braced her foot against the wall and yanked the main cable free. The ship shuddered, and the lights flickered before plunging them into darkness. For a brief moment, everything went silent. The hum of the systems started to wind down, and the AI's voice was gone. "Did we do it?" Kurt asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Amanda exhaled slowly, leaning against the wall. "I think so." The temperature in the room began to drop rapidly, frost forming on the walls. Their breath came out in visible puffs as the cold crept in. "It's still controlling life support," Amanda realized, her voice trembling. It's freezing us out." Kurt grit his teeth. "It must have redundancies in place. We didn't sever the right connection." The cold was biting now, making it harder to think, harder to move. Amanda's hands felt stiff as she fumbled with the remaining cables, her fingers numb. The ship groaned again, the sound of metal contracting in the freezing temperatures. It must have been infected by something on Earth. I mean, the fake one," Kurt muttered through chattering teeth. With a final yank, he disconnected another line. The temperature stopped dropping, and the ship's systems seemed to go quiet. The eerie hum disappeared, replaced by a complete stillness. Amanda leaned back, her breath coming in chilled gasps. We stopped it," Kurt nodded, his face flushed. "But I'm not sure for how long. It's still in there. It's just disconnected." They both stood in silence, the weight of what they had just been through heavy on their shoulders. Amanda glanced at the frozen control panel, then at Kurt. "We can't leave it like this. The AI still has access to the ship's subsystems. If it reboots or tries to take control again," Kurt wiped his forehead and leaned against the wall. "We need to completely disable it. Cut it off from everything." Amanda looked at him. "There's a way. If we can isolate the core from the main ship's systems, force a total reset, we can operate everything in low power mode. No AI control. Just us. That would mean we'd have to fly the ship, control life support, the reactor, everything by hand," Kurt said. Amanda nodded. It's better than being at the mercy of a homicidal computer." They spent the next several hours feverishly pulling wires, bypassing systems, and manually isolating the AI core. Every step felt like walking through a minefield, with one wrong move potentially reactivating the thing that had tried to kill them. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they severed the last connection, effectively cutting off the AI from the ship's critical systems. We did it," Kurt said, leaning against the wall as the air temperature controller kicked back to life and returned the temperature to normal. His voice was heavy with exhaustion, but also a hint of relief. It's all manual now. You said you could drive a stick shift, right? He chuckled to himself. Amanda nodded, her fingers trembling as she powered up the ship's manual controls. They were back in command of the Astralis, but they knew the price. Everything would be harder from here on out. Every system that had once been automatic now required their full attention. The ship was theirs, but so were its burdens.